sorted now. Mic sorted now. Perfect. Welcome everyone. Nice to see the viewers coming in quick. Ready for today's call. Send in the links quick to the team there. I see the notification squad pulling through. It's actually a very handy feature. Everyone should turn on their notifications. Everyone can hear me? I'm guessing DXY A B C D X Y G. Gonna wait a couple of minutes, guys. Make sure everyone's on the call before I get started. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. Hopefully you guys can hear me perfectly. Everything is going well. Hope. Welcome everyone. Two more minutes there, we get started. I think I'm good to go now. I think I'm gonna get started now. Alright. Okay, so I'd like to welcome everyone to today's live. So as usual, you guys know today what we're going to be taking a look at is our usual market analysis, my forecast for the week, and what I'm looking at, and some of the pairs that I'm looking at, some of the setups that I potentially see playing out this week. So as usual, starting off with the DXY. I'm not going to go too deep into DXY. Just know that I'll always be looking to sell the DXY, okay? Any pullback, I'm looking to sell. Any pullback, I'm looking to sell, unless we get some major breaks of structures. Now, we did get some breaks of structures here on the 4-hour time frame, okay? I mean, you can consider this the break structure here, breaking up above this high. Coming down here, could go up, but realistically for me, a major break of structure would be like, for example, this high right here, okay? And this high, if it gets broken, we would have to go like all the way up here, okay, for this side to be broken, for us to go even higher on a higher time frame. But realistically for me, from like a daily perspective, this is still selling. We have an imbalance right here that we could potentially fill for the start of the week, okay? I have a double top created, as you can see right here. So liquidity is sitting up right above this level. So liquidity sitting up right above this level. price action could potentially come up all the way up into this imbalance right here, 50% and then drop. Or it could keep continuing down and clear the liquidity that we have right here. Okay, so this major lower here. So price could potentially come all the way down here. With that being said, we also have a 2-hour IC right here. Okay, that price could want to potentially come up to. Okay, fill in, react, and then go down and clear this liquidity down here. Notice what we have right here, guys. Okay, the usual talk, 3 market phases. We have the consolidation, the market just making lateral movement, building liquidity up on the top, building liquidity up on the bottom, fake out, okay, with the 3 consecutive candles you see here. Okay, 3 consecutive candles making up that institutional candle on the higher time frame, and then the drop. Okay, create liquidity down here, obviously create liquidity down here. We'll eventually smack that. Okay, and we'll eventually smack the liquidity down here. That's what we're looking for. Okay, to keep selling off. If we're looking to sell the DXY, we're looking for buys on Gbp Usd. Okay, and that's obviously clear right here. I did say that we were seeing some sort of distribution back here, but remember, we don't act in a distribution phase until we reach that phase C. To reach that phase C, we want the Utah to occur, and we want a break of structure to occur. Okay, and signs of weakness to the downside. We didn't get that. Okay, we've seen more and more buying strength. Okay, so there could be more and more sideways movement for now, because I didn't really I'm not really seeing the distribution in its last phases. I'm still seeing some buying pressure here. Even the buying right here was very strong. Once again, we test this level again and we see more strong buying. So what I'm seeing here is we are getting buyer interest. Okay, and when we're getting interest, okay, the market keeps getting pushed up every time we test this area. We're getting interest. It's showing us that, okay, the buyers maybe were exhausted a tiny bit, reacted, the sellers came in, and now what we're seeing is a battle between the buyers and the sellers right here. Okay, so the buyers are coming in at these cheaper prices and they're pushing price up, and the sellers are coming in, testing these levels and trying to push price down. Once again, we have like a support down here and resistance down here. Now, which one is going to win? Okay, that is what we will see. Remember, we don't pre-act, we will always react to what the market does. Well, regarding everything else, like realistically, we are still in a bullish structure, so we're more inclined for price to push up. This could simply just be another reaccumulation. Okay, because remember, a distribution and reaccumulation will always look the exact same in the early phases. Okay, it will literally look like the exact same. You'll only know once you start reaching the end of it if it's a reaccumulation or a distro. Okay, so what we're looking for obviously would be a buy off this 1 hour setup. So it's something that I would look for on the 1 hour time frame. Now, personally, for me, what I don't like about this, I remember telling this to my mentorship group yesterday, is if I don't get a bullish engulfing candle on the IC, then I will be inclined not to buy from this level right here. Okay, so just because I don't see a bullish engulfing candle, I'm not really inclined to buy from this area. I mean, we could look at, I mean, there's no IC right here, there's no nice ICs here. 45-minute potentially, since we do have a bullish engulfing at this level. But still, we kind of have a lot of wicks right here. Usually what I like to see is a clean up and down candle. Okay, this very clean. Okay, when price comes to this level, you want an instant reaction. This one right here is not that clean for me, so I'm not going to look to buy, especially on a Monday. Usually you get some sort of trap there, so for me, I'm not going to look to buy anything on the Monday just yet. I'm going to leave the Monday pass and we'll see. I believe there's a bank holiday as well, so we probably will not notice much movement. We're probably going to get a lot of consolidation in the market just going up and down. But yeah, we should start seeing some volume then coming into the Tuesday after. So yeah, GJ, the same story, not really going to go over it. We did see a lot of JPY weakness, GBP strength last week. Yeah, so all our GPs rallied, but JPY rallied even more because JPY was it was weak. Okay, the JPY was weak. You can see that as well on your JPY right here. We had a phase of weakness there in the JPY. Not much to go there on GJ though, the same kind of analysis. You can see right here, I was considering once again, remember, a distro on GJ last week, but once again, see, it turns out that this was just a reaccumulation. Okay, so basically trying to get in more liquidity before pushing up. And remember the market cycle that I was going through with you guys. Okay, so basically, get a quick drink. So basically, what I usually want to get is a trend. Market will consolidate, it will trend, it will consolidate, it will trend, consolidate, trend. Then it will like distribute, okay, again, accumulate, blah, blah, blah. So the market will always be from cycles. There will always be areas where there's exhaustion in the market. Okay, there's many reasons why these consolidations occur. To build up liquidity, we could be reaching a special point of interest where, okay, the buyers aren't interested anymore and the sellers are interested, or vice versa, or the institutions are taking profit, prices overbought or oversold, whatever it is. Okay, many ways you can look at this, but the main thing, the key here, is to build up liquidity, to get people on the wrong side of the market, and to get all these impatient hands in the market. Okay, so all these people that can't sit on the sideline, they're going to start getting impatient and start seeing things inside this range. They're going to start seeing, oh, consolidating, let's start selling this, let's start buying this. Okay, so you're getting all the stop losses being built up here. So then, boom, the institutions will smack you, go down, okay, so manipulate you. They have all your orders. Now you sold your position to that market, okay? Sold your position to the market, and the institution will then buy it. They will come back down, they will close the position that they opened at break even, okay, the position that they manipulated you with at break even, and then they will make their real short. And this is where we get in, okay? Something that I always love going through, because this is one of the key components of this concept. Euro USD, very nice. Now personally, I sold from here and I failed. Okay, so my trade failed right here. This was really bad price action. This is not something that I could have anticipated. I mean, it was just very bad price action. Okay, it just shows that your trades sometimes will fail. It was a nice trade overall. Okay, it filled in the imbalance. There was reason to it. There was nice liquidity clearance. There was consolidating before the manipulation up. There was a nice bearish engulfing candle, and I looked to get in on that continuation, but didn't work out. The market just consolidated. Okay, so we leave it go. Market broke down obviously, and then it made that sell off. Nice move. We missed that either way. It doesn't matter. Now what we will look for is the buys, I believe. We have now the liquidity cleared. Now if we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see consolidation, manipulation to the downside, double bottom cleared. Now we look for more upside, clear this double top right here. Okay, overall we are in a bullish structure. The daily time frame, you can see, look, boom, reacted off this daily candle. Okay, and away it goes. We have I don't even know what you guys call this, a doji, or I'm not very familiar with these candlestick patterns. But this is obviously a reversal. This is obviously a reversal pattern right here from a Japanese candlestick perspective, and then away you go. Your GPY. This is a candle right here that I would have considered last week, but obviously the time wasn't right. But overall, it did look like a nice buy setup. 1 hour candle. This is something you could look to take if you're looking for that continuation up. Remember though, I wouldn't trade anything tomorrow. Market is just going to be no volatility on the market. I want you to notice. Remember, when we're looking at an IC, we always want to make sure that the IC had some sort of purpose. Okay, we also want to make sure that the IC went somewhere for a certain reason, whether it was clearing liquidity, filling imbalance, etc. What was the reason right here? You can see it went down, filled in the imbalance right here. Okay, so this imbalance wick to wick, 50% of it beautifully. Okay, 50% of it beautifully came down 50%, and away it goes. Now we have more liquidity, like a lot of wicks right here, sitting above the side that eventually we want to get cleared. Okay, USD Cad, opposite of GU and EU. Look at the sell. So when price comes up to this level, we look at the sell, that 2 hour time frame candle. I think it looks beautiful. Perfect setup, I believe. So yeah, I'll be looking to sell this area to go down and clear this downside trendline liquidity. Okay, I'm not gonna go. Remember, guys, these sessions are not deep analysis sessions or anything like that. In the Zoom calls that we do in the group, obviously we go deeper. Okay, and then that's how we usually go deeper into these pairs and where they're moving. But the point of this YouTube sessions that we do every week is to show you guys that, yeah, we're able to call these moves out on absolute daily basis, on a weekly basis. We're calling out all these different forecasts in the market. Okay, we're expecting USD Cad to drop, whatever it is, and pretty much 80% of the time we're correct. Okay, if you watch all the previous videos and you go back to what I've said, okay, you'll find out that most of the stuff that we predicted went exactly our way, and sometimes we're talking to the absolute candle. Okay, I mean, some YouTubers out there, they'll only tell you like, yeah, eventually I'll see this and this and this. No, but what we're doing here is I'm literally telling you I want to see to this level, then come down to this level. I'm giving you guys everything. Okay, I'm literally giving away so much free value right here. So it's up to you to take it how it is. Obviously, it's not going to be handed on a golden plate for you, but you can extract it if you put in the work. you can extract. There's a lot of hidden gems around the place. Okay. AUD, I'm gonna leave GA. I believe that is it. I believe that is it for my pairs. I don't really see anything else. It's a Monday to Sunday, really. I don't really like looking at the market from on a Sunday. I believe the market really shows itself and shows us what the personality or the mood of the market is going to be on the Monday. Okay, so personally, I don't like looking at the market on a Monday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this to Kieran, and he's going to finish off with some of what he's looking at, or maybe he has some different analysis to me. Remember, it's very easy for me to look for a buy and for Kieran to be looking for a sell at the same period, even though we're trading the same stuff. Okay, it's just how this. It's just the beauty of this. Okay, he could be selling to buy. He could be selling to buy from my area, and I could be selling to buy, and I could be buying to sell from his area. Okay, so I'm gonna pass it on to him. He's here. Perfect. Yeah. Done. One sec, actually. I don't think they can hear your voice.
That's all good.
Yeah, they should know. Yeah.
Yeah, they can hear me now. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So just to reiterate, there is a bank holiday tomorrow in the UK. I believe US as well, potentially Europe. So just bear that in mind when you are looking at the charts. Tomorrow,
One sec, actually.
it will be,
I don't
like
think they can
most
hear your
said,
voice.
not a lot of volume. You're not going to see as much movement. You're not really going to see as much. So I just avoid it completely. Yeah. There's no significant news. I've had a look. I don't really see much reason in trading, to be honest. But going into next week, obviously what we see is DXY has actually managed to take the previous week's high right there. And obviously it's formed a 1 hour and 2 hour IC right here. I do quite like the 2 hour, but just the 1 hour, obviously, if you're trading a reversal pair like EU, you're going to be looking at a lot less stop loss than if you're trading off this 2 hour right here. And obviously, it has pushed up above this consolidation around here. I do believe that this could work for a sell. And at the end of the day, we can see, it's always important to potentially look at how they close on a monthly or on a weekly, on the higher time frame, how the candles close. And you can see it's closed very bearish. It does look like it's going to keep selling off. So if we can, we want to try and get into positions where we can be either buying XXS USD or selling USD XXX. So if we can get in sells on USD Cad or buys on EU, this is where we want to be trying to find things like this, where we can actually get in where price is pushing up, and then we can get it on the way back down for a good sell or buy. And obviously this is the exact same on EU. So you've got this 1 hour as well right here, which I do believe could potentially work. I will say one thing though, you do have a daily IC right here, if you can see. Right here, you do have a daily, so just bear that in mind. If you are looking to buy, just bear that in mind that there is a daily IC up there, and you could still, get a decent amount of pips in a buy, about 130, but you might not see a move for the whole thing. I do believe there will be some form of reaction off this daily right here. There's also a 4 hour just up here. Obviously, it has been touched into already, so it's not got the most accuracy possibilities. But there's obviously still that chance. So just bear these things in mind when you're actually looking for a trade, whether you're looking to buy EU. Just bear it in mind that there can be things that can counteract your trade. So that can always be a reason why you might not take a certain trade. And obviously we can see it's gapped up a little bit. Price could keep continuing upwards, so it could actually sell off this 4 hour and then maybe even buy up from the 1 hour, or it could just keep continuing to the daily, where I do believe it can sell off from. That's my main things on the EU and GU. Obviously, what we've seen here is just a load of consolidation. You've got buyers, sellers, both sides. You've had this previously as well. Buyers and sellers get taken out. You've had it here. Buyers and sellers, all the sellers get taken out. You've got a load of consolidation. They get taken out off this, I believe it's a 1 hour IC, which actually reacted off a couple of times. But you can see right there was the 1 hour IC, reacted off a couple of times, and price just pushed up because of it. This is important to see. because we've got a similar situation going on GBP USD right now. You can see a lot of consolidation happening. You know, you've got a lot of liquidity built up. You've got all these wicks on the top side. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks along here, right here. All these wicks. You've got a couple on the bottom as well. I believe this was a 4-hour and 2-hour IC reaction. So you can see there's a lot of liquidity built up. It could be a similar situation to GJ, where it actually just takes out all the sellers or it takes out all the buyers. So this is where we have to kind of figure out where we can actually get in our positions for a buy or a sell. So it's always potentially important to look at the smaller time frame, whether there's any 30-minute continuations or ICs. Obviously, you've got things like this. I believe this might not have been wicked into already. So this is definitely something to bear in mind. Obviously, it just missed it. So if you are bullish on it and you're bearish on DXY, bear something like this in mind. 30-minute, more likely than the smaller time frames. You already had this reaction off a previous IC. It's quite near the start of this push up. So I believe stuff like this could definitely potentially work when you're looking at it and when you're trying to get into a buy because of this. Things like this. These are things you want to be looking for when you're actually trying to look for trades. I believe it might have it's pushed down a little bit, but it's not too much of a problem. Obviously, like I said, it's bank holiday, so you won't see too much going on for the next day or two. Obviously, you've had this reaction of this 1 hour that could push it down for now. Could keep pushing down. Obviously, we want DXY to go up a little bit, so something like this could definitely be something if it comes at the same time as DXY. Make sure to look at that. However, always look at EUR GBP when you're trying to trade, because if EG is rising a lot, that generally means that GBP is bearish. So just bear that in mind, because that could mean that it could fall faster than DXY, and you don't really want to be in a trade when GBP is falling and DXY could be rising. It could, take you out even quicker. So I just bear that in mind. Look at EG, see what direction it's going at the time when you're going to take the trade. I don't use EG for trading. I just use it for confidence in my trades. If I'm looking at any ICs or anything, just make sure it comes at the same time. So if EG pushes up to here, there might be something on GBP USD that could actually cause a reversal in that as well. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at your trades. GA, it's been pretty similar. I do believe the main thing is obviously you have this weekly right here that's actually come out of. So it's quite interesting to see what happens in the next course of the next month. Whether it keeps pushing up like it has done before. Obviously, you've got this IC being created the month previously, and this large bullish candle. So that suggests to me it has a bit of momentum. It's got a bit of bullishness to it. So I do believe it could keep coming up in the next couple of months. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, if you can potentially try get in on a buy, I do believe it will sell off towards the start of the week. Potentially, you've got a couple of opportunities. Stuff like down here that starts this whole push up. This whole push up right here, or even things towards the middle of the move, like right here, that it could be potentials if you're looking for this bullishness that has been going on for quite some time. Stuff like this is definitely something I'm going to be looking at. It's always important, if you can, try look at the smaller time frames, especially if it's within the higher time frame ICs or things like that, when you're actually looking to trade. And this is what's going to give you a lot less stop loss than if you're trading just based off the higher time frame. Stuff like this is going to give you 11, 12 pips stop loss if you're trading off the weekly or things like that. You're looking at things like 75, 80. It just gets a bit absurd. There's not really many other pairs I look at, to be honest. These are obviously the main ones I look at, the most important ones to me. But just similar situations where you've got this 30-minute continuation candle right here on EJ. I do believe price could come down to, just come back down after it. Or even this 1 hour right here. Obviously, not amazing. It's not engulfing, so it's not going to be the most likely of things. It's like I said, I want multiple things to add up when I'm taking a trade based off an IC. Stuff like this is going to be great. These are things that you would love to get into a trade of, but generally the least likely because it generally won't come down that far. And at the end of the day, it's very bullish, especially the fact you've got a weekly IC right up here that's taken out all these previous highs, as you can see, taken out all this previous highs, all of this as well. I do believe this IC could cause some reaction. I'm not 100% sure if it will cause a longer term reaction. Generally for the fact that it has been bullish for quite some time, and I do believe it can keep going bullish into the future, especially with just how bullish everything is compared to JPY. So even stuff like USD JPY, and obviously we've seen how bearish DXY is. It's actually been quite bullish on USD JPY, so just bear that in mind as well. Obviously, you've got this fallout that's been created right before the end. So this is something that could potentially cause a little bit of a drop off, maybe down to the downside. So have a look at that. Stuff like this 1 hour might be something you can always look at. Or even if it pushes back up to this 1 hour as well, this is something you can look at. But those are the main things I'd be looking at if I'm trying to trade. So just bear that in mind though, because the fact that if DXY is very bearish at the time, or if a lot of pairs are going up against JPY, this could cause, you could end up getting stopped out because JPY is just so bearish. It kind of thinks in a mind of its own at times. Gold, my view, longer term, generally is, if we just get rid of this quickly, is up to here, right up to this daily. But even longer term, I do believe it will get back up to this 2050 level that was created before on this daily. These are the main things I'm looking at. So if you are willing to be a bit patient, if you can get into a trade where it pulls back like this, where you saw on Friday, where wick down and potential for a trade, maybe off this wick right here. If you can try getting something like that and just maybe hold for the longer term, because like I said, I do believe you've still got another good 500 pips here to the next target, or even 1,500 pips up to this target as well. So just bear that in mind if you are looking to buy DXY. Gold, just try get in on a pullback like I showed you previously. Those are the main things I look at, to be honest. There's not really any pairs I look at apart from that. These are all the main ones I look at. Generally not anything else. EA, I believe maybe in something at the moment. Yeah, I believe there's a weekly there, right there. Moment, so this is something to look at as well, but these are just the main things I look at. I believe it might have reacted off the 50%. We can just check quickly. Okay, it has reacted off the 50%, so just bear that in mind. It could cause a little bit of a drop off. So yeah, we'll have to bear that in mind in the next coming weeks. But those are the main pairs I look at. So but yeah, that's all from me, I think. Unless you have anything else to add, Mo.
I think that's it, yeah. There's a message there. Harry Kane sounded like. Yeah, so I believe that's it, guys. I appreciate everyone for hopping on.